Welcome to the second part of my tutorial. For those who don't know, we are crocheting this unicorn I made. We already made part 1, which will be in the link in the box down below. So on the first tutorial, first part, we made the head, we made the body, and we made the ears. And now we are going to continue and do the arms. So for the arms, we're going to start with a pale blue color. And we want to start with a magic circle. Now for row 1, we're going to make 6 single crochets into the magic circle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Take the end of the tail and pull. Okay. So we finished row 1 and we have 6 stitches around. Take your stitch marker and put it into the last stitch that you made. For row number 2, we're going to make 6 increases. So let's do twice together. You go into the first stitch. And you're going to do an increase. That's 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So we made 1, into the next stitch make another increase, so that's twice. Now you keep going all the way around until you get to the stitch marker. Just do increase, 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 and I will meet you when I finish the row. So I just finished the row. Now we have 12 stitches around. For row number 3 and 4, that's total 2 rows, we're going to make 12 stitches, which means 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So go and do 1 single crochet in each stitch for total 2 rows, and I will meet you when I finish those 2 rows. So I finished those 2 rows. For next row number 5, we're going to make single crochet in the first stitch and then a decrease, and we're going to repeat it for total 6 times. Let's do it one time together. So first stitch, make a single crochet, then make a decrease. So that's one time. Now you repeat it all the way around until you get to the stitch marker, and I will meet you when I finish the row. Sorry, you repeat it only 4 times and not 6. So I finished the row. We have 8 stitches around. I just did a single crochet and decrease for total 4 times. Now for next row and last, with this color, you're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around until you get to the stitch marker. That will be 8 single crochets. So just do 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I will meet you when I finish the row. We finished row 6 and again we have 8 stitches around. Now we want to change color. How we do it? You pull your hook like that and you take it out. Now take the yarn and pull slowly until you have 2 loops left. 1 and 2. You take your hook and go through those 2 loops. Now you're going to take the white color, the white yarn, and finish this single crochet with the white yarn, like that, through those 2 loops. Now pull the pale blue, pull the white so it will be tight, and now we're going to make 5 more rows of 8 single crochets, which means 5 rows of 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Take your stitch marker and put it into the last stitch that you made, which is the last pale blue one, here, and we are going to do single crochet all around for 5 rows, but the first single crochet now is going to be a slip stitch, so the changing color will be invisibly and it will look much better. So you just do a slip stitch in the first stitch and just go 1 single crochet in each stitch around for total 5 rows, and I will meet you at the end of those 5 rows. Just note, when you start now the second row and you go into the stitch that you made a slip stitch, it will be just a little bit difficult to go in, but no worries, it will work, and then you just continue regular. So go and finish those 5 rows. So I just finished row 5, and what I'm going to do now is cut the blue yarn. And pull it inside the arm. And now I'm going to finish off, which means slip stitch into the next stitch. Then you chain 1 and you want to cut the yarn, leaving tail so we can sew it to the body. Like that. Now we want to put some stuffing into the arm. Make sure you stuff only half. So you take stuffing and you just pull it like that into the arm. There you go, one arm is ready. Now you go and repeat that and make another arm. I already made the second one. So just pause the video and go make another one. And we will continue to the legs. So when you finish the legs, let's go and continue to the, when you finish the arms, let's continue to the legs. So you take your blue yarn, pale blue yarn, and you're going to start with a magic circle. and we start with 6 single crochets into the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now you pull the end of the tail. Okay, so we finished row 1 and we have 6 stitches around. Take your stitch marker and put it into the last stitch that you made. For row number 2 we're going to make 6 increases. So let's do it twice together. Go into the first stitch and do an increase. That's 1. Next stitch, another increase. That's 2. Now you continue and repeat it all the way around. I will meet you when I finish the row. I finished row 2 and we have 12 stitches around. For row 3 we're going to make single crochet into the first stitch and then an increase into the second stitch, and we will want to repeat it for total 6 times until we get to the stitch marker. So let's do it one time together. Single crochet into the first stitch and an increase into the second stitch. Now you keep going all the way around until you get to the stitch marker, and I will meet you when I finish the row. Finished row 3, we have 18 stitches around. Now we're going to do 18 single crochets for total 3 rows, which means 1 single crochet in each stitch around for total 3 rows. So let's do few stitches together. So single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. Just repeat that for total 3 rows, and I will meet you when I finish the rows. I finished those 3 rows, and now for the next row we're going to make single crochet in the first stitch and then a decrease, and we want to repeat it for total 6 times until we get to the stitch marker. So let's do it one more time together. One time together. Single crochet into the first stitch and then a decrease. That's one time. Now you go and continue all the way around. Single crochet and then decrease, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Finish the row. For next row we're going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch around, which means total of 12 single crochets. So just do single crochet in each stitch, and I will meet you when I finish the row. So I finished the row, and now we want to change color to white. So pull your hook like that and take it out. Now take the yarn and pull until you have 2 loops left. 1 and 2. So you take your crochet hook and go through those 2 loops. Now you want to take your white yarn and finish the single crochet with this white yarn like that. Go through those 2 loops. Now pull the pale blue one, pull the white so it will be tight, and we're going to work now for the next row 1 single crochet in each stitch around, but the first stitch is going to be slip stitch, so the changing color will be invisibly and will look good. So slip stitch into the first stitch. Now you can pull again the white yarn. So that's 1. Now you can take your stitch marker, put it into the last pale blue stitch that you made, because we already done the first stitch of the row. Okay, now just continue 1 single crochet in each stitch until you get to the stitch marker. Last stitch, take the stitch marker out, make a single crochet, and now just pull like that the hook and take your scissors and cut the blue yarn. Now just make 2 knots with the white and the pale blue and the tails. That's 1 and that's 2. Put them inside and now we can continue. Take your stitch marker, put it into the last stitch that you made. And now for the next row, we're going to make single crochet in the first stitch and then a decrease. We are going to repeat it for total 4 times. So let's do it 1 time together. You go into the first stitch, which was the slip stitch from last row, so it's a bit difficult, and make a single crochet. Now you make a decrease. So that's 1 time. You go and repeat it all the way around until you get to the stitch marker, and I will meet you when I finish the row. Okay, so I finished the row. Now for this leg we're going to put some fiber filling, some stuffing into it right now. So pull your hook like that and get some stuffing into the leg. And now we can continue. What we're going to do now is 5 more rows of 8 single crochets, which means 5 more rows of 1 single crochet in each stitch. So you go and make those 5 rows, and I will meet you when I finish to show you how we finish off. So I just finished all those 5 rows. Now I'm going to finish off, which means just make a slip stitch into the next stitch and chain 1, cut the yarn, leave tail to sew to the body, and just pull like that. Okay, so we made 1 leg. Now you go and repeat this leg again, and just pause the video or go back and watch again how we made it. I already made 2 legs. And when you are done, we are going to continue and make the horn. For the horn, we're going to use this gold color. And we want to do a magic circle. And for row 1, we're going to make 5 single crochets into the magic circle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now you take the end of the tail and pull. Okay, yeah. So we finished row 1 and we have 5 single crochets around. Take your stitch marker and put it into the last stitch that you made. For row number 2, we're going to make an increase into the first stitch and then 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So let's do that together. Make an increase into the first stitch, then single crochet into the second stitch, single crochet into the third stitch, single crochet into the fourth stitch, and last stitch, take out your stitch marker and make a single crochet. So we finished row 2 and we have 6 stitches around. Now you go and repeat 3 more rows, just single crochets in each stitch around, which means 3 rows of 1 single crochet in each stitch. I will meet you at the end of those 3 rows. I finished those 3 rows. Now I'm going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1, and cut the yarn, leave tail to sew to the head. Now you pull, and there's our horn. Put it on the side, and now we're going to work on the mane. So what we're going to do now is take one of the 5 colors I showed at the beginning, which are red, pale blue, white, purple, and gold. And we're going to repeat what I'm going to show you now. I will use the red yarn. What we're going to do now is a slip knot, and we are going to chain 40. Just do foundation chain of 40 chains. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 36, 37, 38, 39 ו-40. So that's what we have for now. What we're going to do now, you're going to work from the second chain from the hook, which means you don't count the loop that's on your hook, and you skip the last stitch which is before the loop, and you go into the second one after that. And what we're going to do now is an increase into each chain. So go into this chain and make an increase. 1 and 2 into the same chain. Next chain, make an increase. 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 It's starting to get the shape. Next chain, make an increase. Next chain, make an increase. And you keep going like that all the way around until you get to the last chain, and I will show you what we are doing when we finish. So keep going, and I will finish, and I will meet you when I about to finish the foundation chain. So I'm about to finish with the increases. Left for me two chains. So increase and last chain, make an increase. What you're going to do now is chain one and cut the yarn, leave tail to sew to the head like that, and just pull also the end here and pull. So that's how it looks like when we finish it. Now you go and repeat it again for those other 4 colors. Just pause the video or just go back and see again how we made it, and once you've done with each color one of them, we can continue. So now we are going to work on the tail. What you're going to do now is cut 2 pieces of each color from those 5 colors, length of 30 centimeters, or double the size of the tail that you want it to be. Actually, it's less than 30 centimeters, but I prefer to add some more and then just cut at the right length that I want it to be. So go and just cut 2 pieces from each color, and when you're done that, we are going to sew all the different parts. So for now, those all the pieces that we have, and we have a long way to sew them all together. Also those, and these. So the first thing that we are going to sew together are the head and the body. So take your needle, bring the end of the tail from the body like that in two, and what we're going to do now is place exactly where we want it to be. I always prefer to have the tail at the back of the head, and like that. Now take your needle and go into the head exactly at the same place that the tail is, and go out 1 stitch after that here, and pull. Now into the next stitch of the body, straight into the head and out of the head, 1 stitch next to it. next stitch of the body, straight into the head and out one stitch next to it, and just repeat that all the way until your body is almost closed. Then you better put some stuffing inside, and then you can close and finish the sewing of the body and the head. So just continue every few stitches, that just make sure that it stays at the right place that you really want it to be. And I will meet you when I finish sewing the head to the body. Okay, so I just finished with the last stitch of the sewing. What I want to do now is make it unable to open. So bring your needle into the head and out one stitch next to that, and then when you have a small loop left here, just bring the needle through and pull. Now you want to hide the yarn, so bring the needle through the body and out from a different place, and now you can just cut this yarn. So we finished sewing the head to the body, and next we want to sew the legs. So first you take one of the legs and get it into the needle like that. Now you want to place exactly where you want it to be. Like that. So you leave the other one and you continue with this leg that you have the needle already in. And now you're just going to go into the body at the same place that the tail starts. Make sure that the tail is at the end of the left side or the right side. Doesn't really matter, but it must be on the side. And you go into the body and out of the body one stitch on top of it, like that. Now you go through the leg, the first stitch, you take also the back stitch and also the front stitch, and you bring the needle out like that. Now you go straight into the same row. Make sure you go into the same row of the body and out one stitch on top of that, and you pull. Into the next stitch of the legs, also the front stitch and also the back stitch, and pull. Now into the same row of the body and out one stitch on top of that. Into the leg from the back to the front, take the next stitches and out. Into the body the same row and one stitch on top of that, take it out. Last time, into the last stitch of the leg, the back and the front together, and just pull. Get your needle into the exact same row and out one stitch next to that. Now you pull. That's one leg. Now you want it to be unable to open, so take your needle into the body and out one stitch apart. And when you have a small loop left, bring the needle through and pull. Now we want to hide the yarn and cut this left yarn. Now we are going to work on the second leg. So take the tail of the leg into the needle and place it exactly at the same row that the other leg is. Here. And just again make sure that the tail is at the end of the right or the left place, and you just go straight into the body and out one stitch on top of that, and you pull into the leg the next stitch from the back to the front. Make sure you take the back stitch and the front stitch. Just do the same way as we did with the first leg, and I will meet you when I finish sewing this leg. We finished with the legs. That's how it looks like for now. Now we're going to work on the arms, and we're going to sew them exactly the same way that we did with the legs. First you go through the needle with one of the arms, then you place them then you leave the left one and continue with the right one. Make sure that the tail is in any corner, or the right or the left one, and go straight into the body exactly at the same place as your tail is at. And one stitch apart, just take it out and pull. Now from the back into the front stitch of the arm, and you pull. Just work the same way that we did with the legs, and I will meet you when I'm done sewing the arms. I just finished sewing the arms. That's how it looks like for now. Now we are going to sew the ears. So take one of them and tail into the needle, and now you want to place them like that. So you leave the left one and you continue this with this one. Make sure that the tail is at the corner. And now you want to go straight into the head at the same place as the tail and bring it out one stitch between, like that. Now you turn it like that and you go into the next stitch of the ear. Make sure you go through the front stitch and the back stitch also, and you pull. Now to the front, make sure you go into the same row that you went with the first time, and your needle into the head and out of the head one stitch at the back. like that. Now from the back into the ear, from the back to the front and out. Into the head at the same row and out one stitch at the back, like that. Into the ear, next stitch, pull into the head and out of the head one stitch behind, and that's how the ear looks like. So now you want to make it unable to open, so go into the head and out of the head one stitch next to it, and when you have a small loop, just bring the needle through and hide the yarn like that and cut. So that's one ear. Now take the second ear, place it at the exact same row, like that, and just sew the same way. First you go straight into the head and out of the head one stitch behind, one stitch at the back of it, and just continue with the same ear, and I will meet you when I finish this ear. I just finished the second ear also, and that's how it looks like for now. Now we're going to sew the horn. Take your needle and place the horn approximately here, which is at the middle of the eyes, and just a little bit back, like that. So, as I said, I prefer the tail to be at the back, and go into the head at the same place that the tail is at, and take it out next to that, approximately here, like that, and you pull. Now you go into the next stitch of the horn from the inside to the outside and pull. Now into the head and out of the head one stitch next to that, into the next stitch of the horn from the inside to the outside, and just continue like that all the way until you close the horn, and I will meet you when I finish sewing it. So I just closed the horn, and now I want to hide the yarn, so just bring it into the head and out from a different place and pull. Now don't cut this yarn, we will need it to make knots later, so it will be unable to open. Now we are going to sew the mane, all those. So take any of them that you want. I choose the red one. The first one will be here at the front. So take your needle and how we're going to sew them. So the first one I sew between the horn and the ear, approximately here. So bring the needle into the head and out one stitch next to it, and you just pull. Now you take the second yarn that you have left from the main, and you're going to make 2 knots. That's one and another one. So that's the first piece. Now we want to hide those left yarns. So take the needle, bring it through again, and now take it out, go into the head and out at the same place that we left with this gold yarn. Sorry. And you pull. Now you go and make 2 knots. One and 2. Now you can cut them and hide with the back of the needle like that into the head. Okay. Now you take also the second yarn and you hide it as well into the head and out from a different place, and you can just cut it like that. So that's one. Now you take another one. I'm taking the white one. And this one you are going to sew between the left ear and the horn, approximately here, into the head, 1 stitch apart, and bring it out. Take the other piece of white yarn and just make 2 knots. 1 and 2. Now you want to hide them, so take your needle into the head and out of the head from a different place. Take the second one and just do the same. Well, okay. So we've done with 2 pieces from the main. Now the other 3, just turn it around like that, and you are going to place them one next to the other. Close to the ears and the horn, like that in here. Just do the same as we did with those two, and I will meet you when I finish sewing all of them. So I just finished sewing them. Those are the places that I put them into. And now you can take those to the back also if you want, or in the front. I like when one is coming to the front like that, and that's how it looks like for now. What we have left now is only the tail. So for the tail, you're going to use your crochet hook now and just place it in the middle of the legs, approximately this height. You go with your hook into the body and out one stitch between that. Now you want to take all those pieces and go through the stitch. Well, that's too many, so we can make it in 2 times. So just take few, like 4 or 5, and go through and pull only one side. Now you take the left ones, the left yarns, and go into the same stitch that we went before and bring it through like that. Pull only one side. Now just make 2 knots with all of them. Even 1 knot is enough. Pull tight, and now you can just cut approximately here. And there is our tail. Now we finished sewing all the parts. And that's how it looks like. Here is the other one I made. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked. Please subscribe if you still didn't, and feel free to check more tutorials. Bye bye until next time.